Good afternoon, Flosstube. Hey, I'm stitching between the lines. Today is Tuesday, December 8th, 2020, video number 87. It's time for me to get back in the swing of things, the chaos of, fall, that kind of stuff. We have some birthdays that go on, and Thanksgiving, and heading into Christmas, and all the things. I really wasn't in the mood to make a video. I don't know. Just, whatever. So I didn't. So anyway, the pile is big. Although I don't think this is going to take that long. I feel like I'm forgetting things because it's been a while. I do try to pile things up near my space so that I can have them right out. And it's gotten a little out of control, so I'm not sure if I'm missing things. It's possible. Whatever. We can circle around. You can ask about something if I fail to mention it. First I have to do, though, is Flag Folk is back from the framer. I bought this in 2019, last October, when I went to Wisconsin and then to the Midwest retreat in Amana, Iowa. And I went to Country Sampler, and I wanted to buy something besides liking this, love that primitive look. I wanted to buy something that they had a conversion for, and this was it. And their fabric selection was Picture This Plus Murky. Sorry, I didn't think the bag was going to stick like that. And I took it to the framers when I got it done, and it was a hard piece to pick color up frame for, but I think we did a great job. I go in there sometimes thinking I really want to focus on the green or the gold or I don't know what, something. And, she has a lot more artistic skills than I do at the frame shop. And we found this blue that's a little rustic, that has some light. It looks like gray in the wood, the old looking wood. So there we go. Isn't that great? That'll be fabulous to hang come summer with my patriotic themed things. So excuse me while I put it down. That was a good find. That was a good one. I'm looking at my pile. I don't even know if I showed or talked about, maybe I talked a little bit about Shannon Christine's Christmas. I'm in the club for the designs. The designs are not exclusive. The ornament designs are available for sale after they're released each month. But there's a freebie each time. Not sure if this is a freebie or not. I really don't remember. But I was showing briefly how I was finishing them, and what I didn't talk about was exactly what I did to get the shape. I ordered these forms. Everything that could conceivably have a little fleck of dust is showing up because of that sunshine. But we're not complaining because it's sunshine. So I ordered these wooden forms from an Etsy seller. And let me just look at the box so I can tell you the name. It is Leeward Harbor. I will put it right here. I'll link it below. But if you watch my video, the minute I put it up, I might not have gotten the link up there yet. We'll see, because I upload from I don't know. We'll see how it works out when I'm uploading this. If I do it straight up from my iPad, sometimes it's hard just to copy and paste a link. So anyway, then I go to my computer once it's uploaded and edit the details. So I ordered from Leeward Harbor. Let's see if we can get this way up there. See that? Leeward Harbor. Off of Etsy. And I actually had it, these are 4.5 inch. It's been a while now, so I haven't had to think about it. Grab a ruler. 1, 2, 3. These are 4-inch forms with rounded corners with no hole. You could had the option of ordering them with a hole depending on what you were doing with it. So those are 4-inch ones. And then I asked him to make these for me, and he did, and reasonably priced. I asked for, I think these are 12 by 6 ovals, with the intention of doing the word plays. Now, they don't all fit. I got one out or two out, and I measured them and I ordered the size. So these I'm going to have to do on a regular rectangle that I cut out of some kind of board. But there will be ones that fit nicely onto this oval. When I get around to actually finishing them, I don't know. I don't love the finishing process. Sorry, I shouldn't turn away and talk. I don't really enjoy the finishing process. What can I say? Anyway, I'm making my way through those ornaments. Did you hear my clock? The clock is kind of a joke in our family. It plays Christmas music on the hour, and it wasn't working, and I changed the battery or whatever, and then it was working, and it was like in slow motion and really quiet. Well, now all of a sudden I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything. It's like this full volume. I don't know, whatever. So back to Shannon Christine. I finished the November, just going to get this up to put it behind it. The November ornaments. There's one. Here's another. And here's one. Here's the last. I believe this one was the free one. So don't know if these will become available to the general public or if they're only available for club members, and they're only available for 1 month at a time. So December's ornaments have been released. I haven't seen the freebie yet, but I will admit to having not been back to the page in a few days, so it could be there and I just don't know. Anyway, I have 3 more of those to do. I have the December 2 patterns. Haven't seen the freebie yet. It's December 8th, and I'm not feeling the burn to just sit down and stitch them, but that does need to get done. I can't have it lingering open whip because of 3 ornaments. I mean, I've done 12 so far, so I think I can handle 3. What else did I stitch? Well, my main stitching since we last spoke, I pull out a project and try to work on it for a week. And what I pulled out was Glendon Place's ornaments all around. And when I pulled it out, I had this piece of greenery, and all the way around these 2 pieces of greenery down to, I had this piece of greenery over here. Down, I had these 2 pieces of greenery, and that's what I had done. The bells in the middle were mostly done. And I pulled it out, and for a week I was going to do, another quarter. Once I got the quarter done, I felt like I really just needed to get some of the green done. Just keep going for a few days. Get some more of the greens done because I hate those a whole lot, which involved doing this ornament. So then I had almost half of it done. Actually, a tiniest bit more than half. And so I just kept going. I'm going to have to return to the framers to pick something up. And I just thought, maybe I can get this done to take. Well, the plan is a bad one because, first of all, it's not because I haven't done lots of stitching, because I have. Let me look over my own shoulder here. So I had the greens done, and I just kept going and doing more. I just finished these last night, and I'm starting on this ornament. And it just leaves me less than a quarter to do, and all the beading. I've been trying to do the Krynic as I go, although as I'm doing the Krynic on this ornament, I see I did none of it on this ornament. Even though I've gone back and added it to the rest. There's beading in most ornaments. Some of these have no beading, like the gingerbread men. And these pickle-shaped ones do, but I don't think these do. Anyway, so I have all the beads, but what I don't have is the charm that goes in the middle. So what is today? December 8th. I hemmed and hawed and tried to figure out where to get the snowflake. And did I dare just go to the shop and hope they had the snowflake? I don't know. It's just kind of how it goes. I thought about it for a long time. I put my email on 123 Stitch to tell me when one was available, because sometimes once they realize I think that people are looking for something, then they'll order it and then they send you an email, tell you it's available. I don't know. But I needed to order some things from 123 Stitch. Couldn't decide. This was like last week. I was like ripping my hair out trying to make a decision, because I found the charm available on Stony Creek, but I couldn't find anything else I wanted from Stone. It was a whole thing. It was an ongoing whole thing. Finally, anyway, I placed my order on 123 Stitch for the stuff I wanted and needed from there. And then happened to find a couple things that I really thought maybe I needed from Stony Creek. So the ornament is on the way eventually. I mean, it's in their system. There's been no notification it's been mailed. So I think that's where this whole thing's going to fall apart. Plus, I don't know that I can get the beading done. But it was a good plan. And maybe I could have a finish by the end of the year. One can hope. So, anyway. On Thanksgiving Day, I thought it was a good idea to start something new. To start my Prairie Schooler. You know, I always like to have a Prairie Schooler done, and I finished the most recent one. I don't know when. I think the thread just fell. I'm pretty sure I showed it. I'm doing this guy down here. Love it. My friend Carol did it, and I saw it, and it was so fabulous. I thought, well, shoot. It's right next on my list. So I don't know if anybody can figure out what that is. It is a bit of the turkey. So anyway, it started. It's pretty much a no pressure piece at this point. Gotta love a Prairie Schooler. So let me put that guy away with his thread. And then I picked up just, in between working on ornaments all around and starting something new on Thanksgiving and doing the Shannon Christine ornaments, I picked up tingles, and I'm kind of casually trying to do one a month. I don't know. Again, it's December 8th. I have no idea that I'll even remember to pick this up again in December, because that's how it goes. When I started it, I believe in October, and did this one, which this is still my favorite block, those little people, holy cow. I had done the H on this because I had some of that color thread in my needle, and then I screwed up the H. I made it one stitch too wide, so I dismantled that and reassembled it, and then just kept going and finished it. Plus put in one of the spacer fillers that you can get from Lizzie Kate's free pattern to make everything all in one, like on here. So October 31st is the next one I should be doing. I will see if I remember it. I don't know. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. There's something about December. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to think about in December. And then I totally forgot to show this last time. So I had this done prior to last time. I have shown my inspiration for my thread colors for the Prim Village, which is that So Emma Lori Holt. It's So Emma pattern. To me, that's not really primitive. So I picked a fabric bundle that is primitive and then thread colors to make each house. And I can't tell you the color right now, but I'll look in the bin. I framed them all and thought I would do a house a month or some such thing. I haven't picked that up again. Let me see. I haven't quite worked out what I'm doing there. Somebody, and I do not know who, I won't claim this as my own, has picked colors for Christmas. Also red and green, which is where I got the idea in the first place, to do red and green, Christmassy, more traditionally primitive. And then I came across the thread. No, I'm sorry, it's not right in here. This is a variegated thread that's sort of the red and the green and the gold that I used. And then Steph on Just Keep Stitching showed, and she may have gotten this picture from the original inspiration for the Christmassy Prim Village, showed a layout of how to do it, which is not how to do it. Okay, that's not what I mean. Of how she did it. Unknown stitcher, Flosstuber, who had the original idea of the layout of the red and the green, because I kind of struggled with how do you use two colors and make it look a little more whimsical. So I did a quick screenshot of that. So I will look at my picture and decide if I like. I think it went red, green, green, red. None of my houses will be duplicates. I have more reds than green combinations picked out. So anyway, we'll see if I light a fire under me and get that started or not. I mean, it started with the framing, but do I keep going or let it languish? I have, whatever. So that's about it. I don't have like specific plans. I think I'm keeping up. I'm going to keep moving forward with ornaments all around and hit or miss with some of this other odds and ends. And that's about it for that, for stitching mostly. I also forgot to show this last time. Excuse me while I reach. I went to Goodwill. Now, COVID, New York State, nothing's any fun. Going any place is no fun. Can't go with anybody unless they're your like immediate household. So I was in the town where there's a Goodwill. It's just a small one. I've never really found anything good there before. But, I don't know. Some days you just feel like doing something different. I'd been to Walmart. And it's kind of across the road. So I went, and they were limiting people to go in, which I absolutely limit away. We'd been to another Goodwill, my daughters and I, and it was so overcrowded. It was not a fun experience. So anyway, I have a very small book section. That's really what I was looking for. As I know craft things are almost non-existent in my Goodwills. But used books are always, a few books to bring home to add to your pile. As an avid reader that I am, I always need to have some backup in case the library is not an option. And they had several of these. They actually had 3 of these kind of Christmas keepsake books. And I was pretty sure I had one of them, so I didn't get that one. I got 2, these 2. Christmas portraits and Christmas keepsakes. So I'm calling them the wrong thing, I think. They are the Leisure Arts Christmas books. Book 2, book 3. I haven't even looked on my shelf to see if I have them. I don't feel like I did, especially this one. I don't know. They have the best like Father Christmas pictures. Actually kitted up somewhere in my room, in my world, is a Santa. So I don't even know what the price of the books were when I was standing there looking at them. I would have bought the third one had I known. Ultimately, as I checked out, the only thing I bought were 3 books, a novel and these 2 books, and it cost me 62 cents. So the books were 19 cents plus tax. So I was like, well, I really should go back and get that other one. But again, the aisle that has the books, the book section is about 6 feet long, and that's it. And, there were people waiting to want to look at books. And I had to wait a few minutes to get close enough to the books. So I really didn't circle back around to get the other one. Somebody else maybe got a treasure for 19 cents. So I'm looking over here because I want to see if I can reach something. To see if this really scares people or not. Hang on, half a second. Did you get a view of my wet, messy workspace? Nope. Excellent. Excellent. Let me do this. Let me talk about this. This is a lamp. My room is not nearly... When my sewing room in the basement of our other house was very light and bright, and we had like fluorescent lights in the ceiling. So I had my husband put one right over my sewing space, so I never had dark spaces. So I struggled a little bit in this house with how to do this, and I ordered 2 of these. I'm going to turn it on so it's not right in your face. It's just a little touch. Ooh, see how that is? And that's not really shining. That shines like on my ironing board over here, which I sometimes use as a workspace, and I can swing it around and it's over my sewing machine. And it has several different levels of light. And I have two of them. One of them is over my cutting space, and they just take up no space, and they swivel so easily. They're wonderful. Just got them on Amazon. Could look up the name if somebody really wanted to know. I know there's a flyer around or an instruction book that came in there. Anyway, let's circle back around to these books. So I'm a big fan of Bonnie Hunter's scrap quilty patterns, and she releases a book about every year or two with patterns. And I learned from a quilt teacher years ago, when you have a book, you can take it to Staples and have them put it on a spiral, and then it lays flat. It's it's really hard sometimes to have to hold a book open to see the pattern, for example, and all the instructions and pages of instructions. I made this quilt too. So I've done that with my Bonnie Hunter books, and it's just, it saves the binding of your book. I mean, yeah, they cut it off, but you aren't breaking or ripping, or pages aren't falling out because you've split it. So does it horrify anybody to think about having that done to one of these books? I know I would never dog ear a page. I would never anything, but even copying one of these patterns. Okay, we're going to do this really fast. It splits the page. That is a nightmare to try to copy, number one, because you can't get it flat on your copier, or to try to hold up near you to, use the pattern. So if you took it to Staples, and what they do is they slice off this, and then they hole punch it all along and put the spiral in. Does that scare anybody, or does that make perfect sense? The book costs 19 cents. Now, I'm not saying the value of the book that I paid for it should allow me the permission to do anything I want to a book. But in order to make these more useful, ready to use, that idea is floating around in my head. Anyway, is it brilliant, or suffer through to keep a book, to honor a book? I don't know. There we go. Question of the day. That's almost it. I brought out, it's Christmas decorating time, and if anybody follows me on Pinterest, on Instagram, you've seen my Christmas tree. Oh my God. We like a full tree. We like a big tree. And we went to this tree farm. We live in a new place, and the old tree farms aren't any closer than whatever. So it was about a half-hour drive. Fun place. It was really neat, though. We'll take you in a wagon out into the field, and they'll cut down your tree and bring it back by wagon. We happen to carry ours back, but it was neat. It was fun. They serve hot chocolate, whatever. It was just kind of more fun than... and it's what we do. We go out, we cut down a tree. We don't care if there's a foot of snow, it's raining, it's sleeting. It rained or sleeted yesterday, so that the tree you bring home today has ice all over it. We've done it all. We have done it all. So anyway, we went to this new to us place, and the current owners have only owned it, I think, 7 or 8 years. And the people who owned it prior had kind of let up on planting new trees because they knew they would be retiring. So there's a gap in their tree sizes. You can get a 5-foot tree, or you can get a 15-foot tree. And he said the guy told us what a lot of people do is they'll cut as much of the tree off as they want, and then they leave behind. So you walk through the fields, and there's these 5-foot high trees that are really only the bottom of a tree because somebody has. So we found our perfect tree, and we went and we cut it. We didn't cut it all the way at the ground. We cut it up. We left some branches behind, which is, if you've seen our tree following me on Instagram, our tree is 12 foot tall. And the plan was to bring it home and decide how it looked, and then cut more off, really get, a full assessment. So we bring it in. I said to my husband, well, I'm not going to know if it's it wouldn't even fit in the garage to stand it up in the garage. So he said, I don't really know if we're standing outside if I can make an honest to goodness call on how much to chop off. So bring it in, put it in the stand it up, then I'll decide. And of course, we drag it all the way in, get in the stand it up, and we're like, I think we're keeping the whole thing. So I know my Instagram is private. I had to make it private. If you want, just request. And the only thing I do is I kind of try to make sure somebody else I know follows you, or that there's some kind of indicators. Maybe I recognize a name, something like that. I do kind of look like I've had to deny people that have like, they've maybe only posted zero once, yet they follow, 1,000 people, or just kind of started to make me feel like maybe they were, I don't know, not really Instagram users like I would want to have follow me. And of course, there's the creepy men. Those are an automatic no thanks. So anyway, if you ever have asked me if you can follow me and I have denied you, send me just a quick message, on a Flosstube or whatever, to say, hey, I really would love to follow you, but I don't really use and post on Instagram. And then I'll make sure I accept your next one. But honestly, you know how it is. Creepy people, no matter where you go. So I'm just trying to do that. So anyway, there you go. Christmas tree's up, and I'm pulling out all the stitching and trying to find places. So I brought over a few things to show you, which I know we've seen, but it's just fun to revisit how pretty they are, right? Lavender Lace. Is that what this one is? I haven't written it on here, which I try to do. This is the one I started on a piece of opalescent and then had to bag it because it was just a fiasco. But the end result is beautiful. The starting it over was a really good decision. And then this one, I know I've showed this one as it was in the works, and people love this one. Nobody wants to stitch this one if they have it. I know one of the people who inspired me to finally pull mine out and started it, gave hers away, partly done. But honestly, I just can't stop staring at that thing. Yes, it's a little bit arduous. It's a big piece, but holy cow, is it worth it? This is that, it's a Cooler Design Studios pattern. You can get it in kit form, or you can download it from Cooler Design's website. And then you don't have Ada unless you chose to have Ada, or if you're like me and just can't get rid of the fabric because it's so wasteful, but really it looks great. I don't care. It works. It's beautiful. I loved it. I loved stitching it. Just gorgeous. I mean, there's so much depth in that piece. I want to start, I think, the fall one. I don't know. I want to start everything. Someday on a whim somewhere, I'll just whip it out. And this one I think is even older. Let me check dates. Oh, did I not put I always put my initials and a date, and I don't see it. Oh, there it is, 2017. Holy cow. I maybe didn't do it on this one either. Oh, 2018. Not so much my initials, but up there where trying not to hit them together. Up there where the New Year's clock is, it says 2018 in that third banner. I don't see my initials, but that still doesn't mean they're not there. Let's say that was 18, and the Santa I showed you in the first place was 19. The Santa, Yes, Virginia, would be 2020. So let's say this one was 2017. It is 2017. It's another one. Can't stop staring at it, right? Again, this was a Cooler Design Studios download. This was the first pattern I ever really downloaded and used my iPad. And I've told this story before. I went to Florida. My husband was there, so at least to start. I guess it was in the summer, but really, who knows? I don't remember. And I got there. I think I thought I had left sewing there. And there wasn't any. None. Nothing to sew. So that, well, this doesn't work. That's what I do when I'm here. That's what I do. So I went to Cooler Design and I downloaded it. We stopped at Joann Fabrics on our way out to dinner and I bought threads and a piece of fabric. So this is that Joann's MCG even weave. Sort of pretends to be even weave, but it's really not. It's uneven weave. But I like to work on it. I love the feel of it. And I was like, it worked. I don't even know what to say about how pretty this is, how much I love this. It is gorgeous. My kids are going to have to fight over these, I'm telling you. Or or take turns. They each get to pick one. So yeah, these are the kind you want to leave up all year. I don't know. Anyway, enough admiring my own work. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope nobody's losing their mind. There's days, I'm telling you, there are days that I feel your pain. Christmas is a nice distraction. The weather hasn't been terrible. We've had a few little bits of snow. Stitching time, things. You know, I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of done talking about it, maybe a little bit, but it's just a hard time. Anyway, I got back to some more of my quilting stuff and finally got the border on the last border on Tropical Twist, which I showed you all when I was trying to get it together, and it's laying over on my long arm. I need to put it on my long arm, and I need to piece the backing, which is only just, I have lots of yardage of a fabric I'm going to use for the backing, and put that together, get it on the long arm, and then once it's on there, I'm much quicker to actually work on it. This is what the designer's version looks like. I did mine all in blue and white, so the stars really stand out. My stars are either distinctly blue, distinctly white. I left off all the pinwheels on the border. Sometimes it's just too busy for me, so it focuses more specifically on the blue stars, white stars, and I just did a three rows of border. So we'll get that underway. And I have some other projects. Designers keep coming out with free things, and I keep printing them out, and I haven't stitched or sewn a thing. The same holds true with the stitching. There's some freebies floating around there. Stitch-alongs, quilt-alongs, all the things. Anyway, I've rambled. I'm really rambling. What is it like? I can't remember who said something about not being able to say goodbye or whatever. So I just feel like something's going to come into my mind that I totally forgot, because that's what happened last time, is I forgot to show a couple things. Actually, I've shown them now. Because I didn't really regroup. So anyway, this is for real. Have a good Christmas, everybody. Bye.